Hello, and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name's Dean Jackson, and today we're talking with Hans Comyn, like Kurt Cobain, and he's calling in from Medellin, Colombia. And what Hans has done for the past 15 years is develop his skills in helping. He calls himself a seduction artist, and he helps men with their ability and skill to meet women. And we had a great conversation about how to go beyond the idea of providing information and courses and just thinking how people can take it on themselves to get the result. But what would it mean if he took really the responsibility, not responsibility, but the sort of going all the way of helping people overcome what blocks them from doing the things that he knows how to help them do. And when you can solve that problem, we always start our marketing equation, our puzzle, with what is the thing that you can actually help people that would be a dream come true for them, and then get to the point where we are selecting the right target audience that would be the most useful thing for. So I think you're going to enjoy this conversation. It's a little bit different, but the spirit of it is to help people get all the way, help people get the result that they need to get. And maybe what needs to happen is the pricing that you charge for something maybe needs to go up to increase the amount of time or effort or ability that you have to help them actually get the result. So we had a lot of great conversations about this, and I think that you will enjoy it. So here we go. Hans?
Hello, Mr. Jackson. How are you? I was muted.
Oh, there we go. I'm good. So welcome. Hans,
Yes.
how do I say your last name?
Comyn, like Kurt Cobain, but
Comyn. Okay.
That's
Hans
it.
Comyn.
Yes.
So I'm excited. We get the whole hour to hatch some evil schemes here.
I like it.
I just want to let everybody listening that so we've had some brief discussions on in my email mastery program. So we've had a couple of conversations there, and in that decided this would be a great place to kind of explore deeper what you've got going on. So we have a whole hour to talk about it. So let's pretend we don't know each other and we've never talked. And you can tell me the story, and we can take it from there.
All right. Well, in short, my story is I've been very much an artist for the past 12 years, honing my craft of seduction. I really see seduction as the ultimate art form, and the platform is the interaction between the interaction. That's the canvas, that's the stage, and I've been honing my craft. I started 12 years ago. Started Arja Marata with Zenperion, and we've been working together all these years. And then since 2016, I've been going solo. Okay. And it's only in this year actually that I adopted the kind of business mindset that I did more than just trying to understand the art of seduction better. And the real click was getting connected with your work, because I really felt it was aligned with your marketing philosophy. Is very much aligned with my philosophy of seduction, which is one, meeting the other where they're at right now, and then leading them to a place where you both want to go, basically. And,
that's exactly right. Well said.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of similarities. I look at lead conversion and conversational conversion as exactly that. The whole thing is really about. There's a lot of parallels to it.
Yes, and for me it was a relief, because I worked and I got offers from marketers, and it never felt right, And when I came across your work, it felt like, wow, I love this. And it has really been invigorating to me to look at business now and look at it as a piece of seduction. And I applied like a maniac everything. And I've been doing that for the past, say, 2.5 months. And trying to get the most out of you as possible. And it's been, I have, I've already had I see a clear path forward for the next couple of years. And I've already had a couple of smaller successes. So what I like the most is this feeling of being invigorated by a plan forward and seeing the small successes, and also like what I should tackle next. I can see where I think that I'm where the most leverage for growth would be.
I love it. And now, where do you live right now?
I've been on the road for 12 years. I have no home, but I am currently in Medellin, Colombia, which is a little paradise. Yes, it's incredible.
Very nice. It's a little there's a little hotbed of Americans, friends, Canadian friends, and American friends that are down there.
Yeah, there's a good reason.
Yeah, I guess. Well, okay. So, well, let's talk about the plan then. What is it that you maybe you can lay out the business for me, how it works and where we are in terms of applying the profit activators to it and what we want to maybe focus on.
Well, I'll say very in general, what I've changed over the past month is really my communication with my clients. I shifted really into applying what you said. And I also updated my funnel all the way through. What I think is next is getting more leads. So because, I've been fishing in the same pool for years now. And so my business is I help men get women. And by that, I both mean like having more women in their life, but also understand women more. So I start with meeting women, which is both putting structural solutions in place so you're more often in the company of women you like, but also meeting women, how to talk, and then go into dating and later programs, and also long-term relationships and all of that. So my business right now, or the funnel right now, looks like an invitation to the Swerve By Method, which is a free book and a email course on how to meet women without any of the pickup nonsense. And so I give that to people. I give the email course to people, which is an email sequence, and I give them an invitation to apply and work with me. So I challenge them, and when you complete the challenge, I'll give you my feedback. And so from there on, I run other programs like a $300 Getting Women program, which is very much based on meeting women, or it's called Meeting Women case study group. And then from there on, I have a $1,000 Getting Women program, which is more all-encompassing, not only about meeting, but also dating and long-term relationships. And then I also have I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I have people here in Medellin that come and visit, and I really focus on what results they want to get. And then I apply whatever I've learned in the past 15 years to helping them forward. And so right now was a guy who's been a business guy for 7 years, and I help him become social, basically, because he has almost turned that off. And so we go out, we meet people, we go up and talk to girls. And so it's a combination of these online programs and then live one-on-one mentoring as well.
Well, that's great. And so let's kind of walk through then what's happening with the at each step. So who are you selecting as your audience, your single target audience that you're focused on to try and get the best candidates for you? Who is the best candidate?
Well, I really like your 5-star clients. Like I apply that to myself. But in terms of like market, I'm really, to get them in, I focus on newly single people, which are both.
Okay.
And that's
the
where,
18-year-old.
Yes. I should back up then and say, like if we look at what you're delivering, because the way you described it to me, you talked about a book and program and coaching, that you were kind of describing the vessels that you offer the information in. But what I'd really love to see is, what's the end result? What's the transformation that you could create for somebody? Like what's in your wheelhouse? If you could just say, you've got all the money, it doesn't matter now. You're not doing this for money. It's what are you capable of creating for someone if they would get out of your way and let you do it for them?
I can and have completely transformed man's life into a meaningful life full of adventure and honor. And so and it just happened here. So if people would let me help them and let me work with them, I could completely transform their life in something meaningful, something honorable, and something adventurous. So that's an end result if they let me work with them. But anything before that, I help with them as well. Like, guys want to have a girlfriend, they want to become more social, they want to get past their anxiety, they want multiple lovers, they want to keep the fire in their long-term relationship. I've helped with all of that and feel confident that I can deliver that.
Okay. And so right now, what's the most expensive or the highest priced offering that you have? What's what I would, Dan Sullivan would call your largest check? What's the thing that,
I would say one-on-one coaching, which includes 10 hours of structured working with me, and that's $1,500.
Okay. So when you look at that, is that something that you have a buy button for right now that people are taking advantage of, or is that something that, so it's not your main, it's not the kind of the next, do you want to do more of that, by the way? Is that the most effective way to get the result for someone?
Yes. Yeah, I would like to work more with people, and I would maybe change the way I do it and also the pricing. Yeah. But in person, yes, is where I can have the most effect with the guy, for sure.
Okay. And so if we were saying, I always ask this question, and as a clarifier for people, that if I said to you, look, if you're only going to get paid if you get a result for someone, what would be the result that you would, be confident about being able to create?
I always work with guys we agree on the result, and once because that's part of my process, and once we agree on it, anything we agree on, I feel confident in, because otherwise I wouldn't agree on it. So that goes from very small things. Yes.
Yeah, when you work with people, what kinds of things do people want to define as an outcome? What would be?
For example, what we did with the Meeting Women case study group right now, in 1 month, I say, if you implement what I say, you will have one new lover by the end of the month. Okay. And then when people implement it, it happens. So, for example.
Okay, that's perfect. So now that's an interesting outcome. And when you say, if you were to say back testing, looking at the last 10 people that you've worked with, how many of them would have gotten that result?
Of everyone, of anyone
people who are coming in right now, people who are coming into your program, if it was they're paying you up front for that case study program, and they're paying how much is that?
That was $300 for 1 month.
Okay, so they're paying $300 for 1 month, and they're of the if you take 10 people, the last 10 people who've done that with you, how many of them have achieved the goal or achieved the outcome?
Yes, of the 10 that sign up, 3 of them will actually implement, and of those 3, all 3 will get a result.
I got it. Okay, so that's the thing I'm looking for. That right now, 30%. Like if you were making that offer, right? If you were saying, that's the defining your outcome, that this is what I guarantee after 30 days, go through the program, and then pay me when you get the result, you would have 3 out of 10 now that's what happens, right? That they would do it. Okay. But you said something interesting, because you said if they do it, right? You're saying 3 will do it, 7 won't do it. And so you're sort of, observing that for 7 out of 10 people, the method or the way that you're teaching this is unsuccessful. And I'm not saying that to put you down or to say anything like that. I'm just observing it, that if we're looking at it, that you did the program, you taught it, you did whatever you do, but for 7 out of 10 people, it was unsuccessful. Now you might say, because you were sort of alluding to it, that only 3 out of 10 will actually do what you teach, right? So what is it that, where do the 7, the majority of people, get caught up? Where do they get stuck? Why don't they get the result?
It's great that we put it this way, and this is my obsession, because I want to remove the obstacles, and this is a big dilemma to me, because what I sense, like, I'm very clear on what is going to be expected from them, which is nothing more than meeting or talking to one woman a day, right? And so I'm very clear about that. And my experience over the years is that guys feel very strong that they're committed to do that, and then when the action needs to be taken, things come up. People are busy. People get afraid of talking to girls. Whatever it is, they get sick, or whatever it is, some things come in between what they thought they were committed to, and then it doesn't happen, and they're discouraged, or they feel frustrated, whatever that is. And I'm frustrated. And so it turns out they are not. They don't take the action that they were sure they would be able to take.
Yeah. So when you look at that, it's an interesting thing that it's kind of a behavioral warm up or change for people. But I imagine that if you're looking at, if you can often just put yourself in the mechanical position of being, in a position where you might be able to meet women, that your chances are going to go up. And that's probably that, you look at it that they're, if they're working from home, or they're working in an office, or they're, doing something where they're not exposed to real people out in the wild, that alone is going to be an interesting thing. Do you ever have people like just go physically observe 10 women today? Just go make eye contact with 10 women. Is that kind of how you kind of stair step it up?
Yes.
Because that's an interesting thing, right? To put themselves I mean, to go to Starbucks or go to wherever, or what do you recommend for people? That kind of thing?
Yes, I've been consistently like diminishing the challenge. And because that's what's needed, like I want one little thing can shift it, just one thing.
Yeah.
And that's my learning, that to do it even less, And so, yes.
Because it's one of those things where when you look at it, that probably the reason that the people, it's not about the quantity. It's not about meeting the 30th woman and having the conversation. It's about the first one, because that's what the block is, right? That they're afraid to do that because they realize that once they meet 10, that fear is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
That there's a great book that I would recommend for you actually that helps with this is Dan Sullivan has a book called The 4 C's.
Okay.
And,
yes.
Yeah, and what he talks about is this whole thing that it's commitment is the first C, that you make a commitment that I want to meet 30 women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then the next C that comes up is that then requires courage to do this, right? Courage to break through a fear that you have. It's not saying forget about your fear. One of the great stories that Dan tells about the fear is in the military when he was doing his training, they were doing live grenade training, and his commanding officer said, "Is anybody who's afraid right now?" And Dan, raised his hand, and none of the other guys, they had to pretend that they weren't afraid. And he said, Sullivan's the only one that's telling the truth here. And he said, there's a difference between fear and courage. And he said, fear is peeing your pants, and courage is doing what you need to do with wet pants. And that's and so you think that's an interesting thing, but once you take that courage and you do the thing that you've committed to, that then gives you a new capability.
Exactly.
But now I have the capability to go and start a conversation with a woman, and then that, the more you do it, gives you confidence. And it's much easier then to meet the 30th woman than it is to meet the first, right? So there's so that's part of, if you were to really get this result-based situation down, that's really one of the first things you would have to overcome.
Exactly.
Is
I've been looking at the right direction with it, but I sense that there's a lot more that I can improve that very much. I can improve that. So
the thing is, the thing is that it doesn't matter to you right now, and I say that with love because it doesn't matter to you because they've already paid you the money, and you can take that. It's very comforting for you to take this arm's length external blame shifting approach. And saying, well, because you said it in the beginning, all three, that if they do it, everybody who does it gets the results. But you're saying, but what was not said is that 7 out of 10 don't do it.
Yes.
But that's not my fault. I told them what to do.
Yeah, when I saw that, it really am I blaming? And I am, and I saw that when I do the Profit Activators test there, I am, and so I really shifted into looking in that direction. Like, what can I do to help them? What if I only get paid if they get the results? And I've been looking in that direction, but there's a lot to be studied and changed there for me, for sure.
And listen, what's the maximum? Like, let's just decide. You're $300 for this sounds like a bargain, right?
Yes.
Like it sounds like when you put this on when you look at the top end of the field that you are in, if you look at maybe a matchmaker, for instance,
Yes.
a matchmaker service may cost $30,000 or more, right? Is that
right?
Accurate? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember seeing these profile about the business of matchmaking, and that all these Beverly Hills matchmaker things that charge up to $30,000 or more for a match. So you look at it that these are executives; these are people who want to find the right person, want to outsource all of that stuff. But what an interesting, when you look at it, what is the landscape of what people are going to pay
right
for this, right? Like who is
it's so interesting.
Yeah,
because I've been thinking like I really love the idea that you have where people only pay, say, a part of the increased revenue they get after you let them help them.
Yeah.
And I've been wondering, like, what would be the price? What's the monetary value of, say, getting a girlfriend? And if I'm imagining this. Say we agree on a value for that, and then you only pay me when we get that result.
Yeah.
And so that's the same kind of question. Like, how much is it worth to overcome that fear of talking to women? How much is it worth to get a new lover? How much is it worth to find a girlfriend or to save your relationship? So
right. And that's part of the thing with with services that are not related to money in a way that where there's a direct connection. Like what I'm basically selling to people is money at a discount in a way, right? Like everything that we do. I mean, that's what it is that our organization, we are set up to, we help entrepreneurs make more money. That's the whole thing. So every interaction that we have with people, every outcome is really about making more money. So that's the scorecard. Are you under attack there, Hans?
No. Oh, someone is moving through the house. Wait, I'm going to close the door.
A lot of background noise there.
Okay. We're good?
Yeah.
All right.
So so establishing the value of it, that's really what it's
okay, yes. Great.
Because it's probably there's the thing that's value. One of the things in the value equation is somebody's ability to pay. Now, a 40-year-old divorcee who's getting back into the dating game and looking for someone is different than a college kid or a younger person who's just kind of getting started. In their approach to it and the ability to pay for it,
Yeah. For me, that's a great exercise, to put the value on it.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is that's why when I say select a single target market, part of the process is that you get to select. Most of the time, people who are resistant to selecting a single target market are people who are afraid to limit their options because they're focused on being selected, not doing the selecting.
Right.
So they want to broaden their hope, thinking that if I can appeal to more people, there's more chance that somebody's going to select me to help them. But when you look at it, what you've developed over 15 years is a very specialized ability to help somebody get a result that's taken you all of those years to master, that you've got a track record of being able to demonstrating that you can help people. What you need to do now is to select the people that outcome has the highest value.
Right.
And go and select them. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great thing. I'm writing that down. You said something about the ability to pay, and it's something I'm trying to get my head around that, because
well, part of the thing is that we often, we end up, you've got a great opportunity, right? That is valuable, but to the right person, it's worth way more than to the person who doesn't have anything. Like if you look at it, you wonder when you take the different approaches to this. Like I think that what you've got, if you just bookend this, if you take well, let me ask you, what's the age range of people that you work with if we were to map a bell curve of it?
Yes. I go now, my existing clients are between 18 and 68.
Okay, but where would be the peak, the median, the most common age, if we were to map it out on a curve?
30.
30, okay.
Yes.
And okay, so that's still people that they're out of college, they're in the workforce, they're realizing, holy cow, I missed my chance when I was in college to meet somebody. Now I'm at work, I'm a programmer, I'm going into the office, and I see the same 20 guys every day, and then we go, and then I come home, play video games, and there's and I don't have any opportunity to meet anybody. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's about the age, yes.
Okay. And then do you have people who are, over 40 or, that are, getting divorced or, what, tell me about you said all the way to 68, but what would be what percentage of people would be over 40?
Yes, my guess, like looking at it, is that it's more the younger people and not so many over what percentage? I would say 15% to 20% is over 40.
Okay. And then how do the people over 40 do compared to the people under 30? In terms of their success rate or their compliance or their abilities or enthusiasm or...
I can't really feel or see much of a difference.
Okay. That's great. I'm just wondering about whether it's that the people over 40 have had more life experience or whatever, that maybe they're more naturally able to meet people or whatever, whether that's a case,
or they are a bit more dedicated because of
maybe. I don't know.
The things they already experienced. What I'm getting from this, from what you're just saying, Dean, is very much, I love this, like people who have these experiences and have there's a different set of people that will value what I offer a lot more than most of the people I attract right now.
that's my point, right? Is that we want to in advance find the best candidates, right? Like, so you've developed your capabilities to help somebody with this, with a very important life skill, right? That this is something that can change the trajectory of somebody's life if they had these abilities, if they had the ability to do it. Now, so there's that, and the thing that you're sort of faced with is that the people that you are attracting with the gate open wide is you're getting everybody, and then whoever wants to be part of the case study program, the qualifications are really the $300, and they pay, but then only a third of the people who are paying you to get the result are actually getting the result. So we need to look at that and see, if you were to extrapolate from the differences between the people who get the result and the people who don't get the result, what would that be? Have you identified or see anything that sort of sets the ones who get the result apart?
Like in characteristics, or?
Yeah. Is there anything you could point to?
The only thing I could point to is that the ones that get the results are the ones that apply. But
but what makes them? So I did this same thing for when we were. You may have heard me talk about in the email mastery program. I talked about our Project Cyrus, which was a case study group, a pilot program where I put people through a 90-day program on our real estate side. And we took people in, and we were able to graduate the exact opposite of what you're talking about. We had a 72% graduation rate, meaning 72% of the people that went through actually got the result and then paid us. But part of my observation of it was that the reason people were not having success, if I looked at it, and almost everybody was, but we were taking them in one at a time. And the reason that people were not having success was that they were either in a market that was too small, meaning because it was AdWords driven, there wasn't enough search volume to velocity to get a lot of leads, kind of thing. So I made a decision that, so what would be a way to eliminate that problem is to say, if you live in a market of more than 20,000 people, that would be a cutoff. Then I found that people who were brand new in real estate were not doing as well because they don't know, they get deer in the headlights. They don't know what to do if they actually got somebody who wanted to buy a house or sell their house, right? So they don't have the actual real estate skills to match somebody, or they're too successful, like too busy, where they're not personally working with buyers, in their business. So they're delegating it to somebody else. And I started looking and identified 5 or 6 of these parameters that I would filter in the beginning. So we would say to people, if you live in a market of more than 20,000 people, you personally work with buyers and sellers, you've been in real estate for at least 1 to 2 years, you've got time to work with 2 new buyers a month, that kind of thing, where we set the stage where if they're kind of agreeing to it up front, that selected the right people for the program, right?
Great.
So if you look at that and said, of the people who fail, what are the common reasons that you hear? Do they say, I just don't have time, or that they're too afraid, or what is the...
Yes. Afraid, something came up. They've been very busy. Some work came up. I would say those are the two main things. Like something came up, so they don't have the time, and the other one is being afraid that once they're in a situation to
which,
talk
by
to.
the way, something came up is probably a nice mask for I'm
exactly.
afraid. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I like. I hope I answer this, but what I hear from you, I think is very interesting, is to both, for me, really try to diminish the obstacles that people feel so they can get into action some way is one, and two, actually bring the coachability of a client earlier in the funnel instead of later. Like earlier, really try to detect, okay, I made it so easy for you to start acting. Now, from now on, I will only work with those people who are actually taking those, however small, steps I propose.
Right. And when you look at it, that you laid out like the very single chain of events, right? Like you have what I call the algorithm, right? Which means if you're looking at it, that it's purely an inevitability. What you're saying is 30 conversations is all it takes, right? Is that, if it's one a day? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying, in your experience, that doing the way that you do it, map out for me the first step. Like what do you say to people? What's the first thing that they have to do that they ultimately are resistant to?
Well, I divide like that $300 program in 3 bits, and the first bit is structured solutions, which means you got to arrange your life in such a way that you find yourself more often in the company of women you fancy. So if you're living in Pump Handle, Iowa, and there are no women around, it's going to be very hard to meet women. So that's the first part. And then the last part is logistics, which is what is the distance between meeting a woman and being intimate, both mentally and physically, like logistics. And in between is the interaction part, which is the main focus, and also what guys think of when they think of being better with women. And in that interaction, I work actually with, like, you have 8 profit activators. I work with 8 keys, and it is where I've seen that guys get stuck along the process. And then I give them the key to get beyond that. And it goes from one, showing up, or 2 is, for example, being able to express yourself. 3 would be being able to express your desire. Then you have invitations. And so I have a whole kind of 8, let's say, keys to success with women in the interaction. Is that answering your question?
Yeah, I think that. So the first thing, if we were saying, it wouldn't be far off from what I was saying. If the first step would be, even if they want to not, not actually have the conversation, or that they can psych themselves up that they're not avoiding it by getting into this habit of going and physically, seeing or making eye contact with 10 women in one day, kind of thing, right? Like just go physically observe 10 women that look like the women that you would like to meet. Where would that be? Because that's part of the thing, is that they have to understand where that would happen, right? Like, is it at Starbucks? Is it at the gym? Is it at the mall? Is it at the bookstore or the Apple store? Is it at the library? Is it where are these is it in a yoga class? Is it at Whole Foods? Is it? So imagine that's part of the thing, is to get them imagining it first, right? And
then do it. Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm just kind of, it just seems like that would be the kind of thing, right? To have people do the lap first, just go observe, like without, I'm not saying, Hans, that you need to go and say anything to anybody right now. Just go count to 100. Let's just go count to, see if you can physically put your eyes on 100 women. Yeah,
exactly. My first mission is that, I ask a series of questions and I say, like, to try to assess if their situation is good enough to meet women, and then what could they do about it to improve their chances. And so their mission in that first week is trying to arrange their life in such a way that they are more often in the company of those women that they like. And so that's the first step.
Okay. So that, I think maybe that's it, is building their, there probably wouldn't be much resistance to getting them to map the territory, right?
Yes, they love that mission.
Yeah, they would, right? Yeah, because they don't have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. But that's great. I can work along, like, I can really, And then the biggest step is really action. And there I feel I can lower, I must find a way to lower the entry level of action. Like, I really like what you said, just go out and make eye contact,
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything.
Just smile. Do you ever, and then leave. Do you ever do these missions at, synchronously and scheduled?
Say that again, sorry?
Well, I know it might be more difficult depending on the time zone of where you are, kind of thing. But what I was asking was, do you ever do them at a synchronous time, where if you say, we're going to do this from, if you think about, it's easier in the day to do it.
Right.
Okay, so if you're having like the after work thing, the happy hour type of thing or whatever, from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock kind of thing. If you say, I want you to go, we're going to map the territory and do these things, that having a, check in and then go do the mission right now, and then we'll check back at 7 kind of thing, and report back what's happening.
Well, we have a problem there because my clients are from all over the world, so we've got all different time zones. What we do use is Voxer, and it's been great. Voxer is like a walkie-talkie style, and so guys will I get the message instantly. I'm standing here and I'm afraid and whatever, and so that kind of walkie-talkie style has been great, to get guys going.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, that there's this sense of like somebody checking in for their mission, and then having the support there to actually do it. That I think that's I think that's a pretty good thing. But I think that part of it is, it feels like the outcome could be something that people would find more valuable.
I don't understand that. Say that again, or
it might be more valuable than $300. Right.
Yes.
If you can get that closer up to the 70. Now, and there's the thing, is that I have to ask you, do you think that you could, what would it take for you to get the, to double that from 3 out of 10 to 6 out of 10, is there something you could do that would increase their chances?
Yes. Well, what I'm hearing from this conversation is really is for me is think hard and improve at removing the obstacles for people to get into action. So that's something I see there, and then really be selective in what people I'm going to work with, and move my coachability of the client earlier in the funnel, and not allow people in the program that have not proven that they're coachable. Something like this is what I'm thinking of right now.
Yes, you are on track. I think, that's really the thing, is to start to think about, do they know that they're part of a group? Like, is there a, do you have a timeline that people go through, or is it?
Yes.
Okay. So and how many people do you typically do in a group?
Now I had 12 to 15.
Okay, perfect. So that's good that, you can kind of have stats or a leaderboard or a, something, a checklist where there's these 12. When I was doing the Project Cyrus, the thing was, there were 12 steps between, getting the website set up to a closing, right? Getting that commission check. And so there were 12 checkpoints on the way to that, meaning your website is up and running, your AdWords account is set up, your AdWords account is turned on, you're getting visitors, people are leaving their name and their email, people are asking for your market watch or your guide or those things, you're engaged in a dialogue with somebody, you're showing homes to somebody, all of those, that levels are the way to go, right? And so what you identified those, you mentioned the 8 levels or steps or keys. And so everything is contingent on just getting to the next key, right? And so that's what we found, is that rather than letting somebody else do something, if there's possibly a way for me to do it, we did it for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I do it for them? That's yes. It's been like, since I discovered your work, that's what I've been thinking of. That's why I say I changed from being an artist and here's my teaching and do whatever you want with it, to really being a coach. And it's like, what if I only get paid if they get the results? So I've been thinking about it, and it's been frustrating, but I get some valuable things here from this call of where to look, at least. So that's very good for me.
I like this, So if you were to say, like, looking at the best candidates for this, that's really what you want to look at, is, because right now I think that's really the thing. Like, I would say that the important thing is that you're able to get the result for an overwhelming majority of people, right? Like right now, when you look at 3 out of 10 is that's going to be a problem down the road for you, because that's, if you get them to that point, if you get the ones who do get the result, that's going to be, there's an opportunity for them to do the other things, continue on with you. But the people who start with that and don't get the result, that could be a problem, right?
I think this is very close, and I would like to ask you this question, Dean. I think it's very closely related. Sometimes I think, like, independent of me improving the results for people, I also think that the way I can select people would change a lot if I could just have more people, more leads. My sense is, or I know that I've been working with the same kind of people for the past couple of years, and I think for my next big step, and a lot of my issues also would be solved if I just have a constant stream of people coming in. And I've just started thinking about this, and my main focus has been really cultivating my relationships with people that I admire and are in the same sphere, and we could work together, and I present their work to my followers, and they present my work to their followers. So that's what I've been focusing on. But my question to you is, like, I've been using your model, and it's been very great just to apply it for me. Could you direct me in some, or give me a name or someone that I could model in a way to get more leads?
Well, so what are you doing right now to get leads? That's the
nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Yes. It's like, it's very organic, and people know me from my past work, and then some other coaches really like my work and they recommend me. But I've just started to cultivating those relationships and looking how I can do this.
Okay, so how are people getting on your list right now?
By getting the book, This Work by Now. And so they find my website, and they find my website either through, I would say, my past work with Arjamarata, which is, I wrote the programs and I'm in all the videos, and so people look up my name and they find that page. Or I think through my social media, on my Instagram and my Facebook, and that's about it.
Okay. So part of the thing is, you're in the lead getting phase then.
Yes.
You look at that. So if we look at it that, you've selected who would be the person that you want to attract, right? You define that, because now we're in the business of you doing the selecting. Because right now it sounds like everybody that's coming to you is you're being selected, right? So it's just happening naturally. They're finding you and gravitating towards you. And so what we're looking to do now is for you to go out and get in front of the right people, the ones that you have the highest thing of helping. So that's a two-step process. And the first is defining who that person is. If they're someone between, 25 and 35, or, you want to narrow in on the person that you're looking for, or the, specific professions or specific occupations. Like, is it best with, does your stuff work better with, systematic, logical people, or with like free-spirited, non-structured people, and that's because if you're looking at it, is it engineers and software developers or things, or is it, those kind of, what would be the things that they like? If we're talking about Facebook and Instagram, for instance, as the place where you're going to meet those people, what would be the title of the book that they would definitely want to have in their collection?
Right. I'm assuming you don't want an answer right now, but yes, that's very much.
That's what that's what I'm asking you. Is that's part of the process, right? It's to figure out is what the what would be the and a good way to start is by thinking about defining what the how-to is, right? How-to what would be the thing that they would definitely be attracted to,
Right. Yeah.
Like when you look at you look at what Eben Pagan, back in the beginning, it all started with a book called Double Your Dating.
Yes.
Right? And with Marie Forleo, we did a book called How to Make Every Man Want You. Right? How to become so irresistible you'll barely be able to stop from dating yourself. Right? That as a book title is like it hits all the right nerves, right?
Right.
When you think about what are the things that, if that's what it is we've got to set up the magnet that attracts exactly the right people for you.
Right.
And so there's nothing, the best thing that I use is a book, just because it's something that has value, like deep down embedded value in our DNA almost, right? Like we've been reared globally to respect books and to value them, and so it's really about having the right title that can attract exactly the right people for you. And then once somebody, once you're at that stage, right? Once somebody's raised their hand, now you start with the conversion process.
Right. Yes. Well, assuming that I have that in place, because there's a big argument to make that I don't, but I have the book and I have the course, and it's all there. I'm very much looking now, like, how can I get more eyes on it? And I haven't done any work in that direction.
Right.
Or almost nothing. And so I'm wondering, like, I can see, besides what we talked about today, which is fantastic, and I have to think about how I can remove obstacles and then bring coachability earlier in the process. Like, I see that a big next step for the next year is going to be to get more eyes on the opt-in pages, to get more eyes on my work, and I'm wondering, like, how I'm going to do that, or who can I look to that could help me with that.
Well, you're either going to do that through, through paid Facebook and Instagram, or TikTok, or Snapchat, or Instagram stories, or whatever. That's where you want to reach everybody. Is just to get in those streams. You need to get in front of those people, and that's why it's got to be quick. It's got to be something that somebody can just like, yes, I want that, and push a button and get it.
Right.
Now you've got that way. You've got a visible prospect, right? Like right now, they're all invisible. You don't know who they are right now, but you can certainly target single men, 25 to 35, in a particular spot, in a, and you start thinking about, how could I just build this list of all of these these guys? How can I start the conversation? It's almost the same. Start thinking about your methodology for meeting women, for meeting prospects.
Yes.
I mean,
exactly.
It's really the same thing, right? Yeah.
That's exactly why I'm on this podcast and why I started working, because I said, wow, it's like it's the same thing, It's very seductive. So I'm super excited. I see the path forward. I see a lot of work, and I love the work right now. I love doing my work. I'm very grateful that I met your work, and it really boosts me forward. It's something that has always been for me almost like a best and necessary evil, which is marketing and business.
Yeah,
it's now an integral part of who I am.
Yeah,
my identity, and I'm very grateful for that.
Look for the book title workshop in the email mastery program.
Yes.
Because that would be that'd be a great next step for you to really figure out if we can get the title of the book, that's gonna be the tool,
Great. But besides all the great info, I see two tools, which is this book title workshop, and I really liked, I saw it before, the Dan Sullivan, the 4 C's. I think that's going to help me too. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you.
I love it
very much. I'll make
Hans,
you proud.
Great.
I'll make you proud, and we'll raise the bar and a lot of income.
Okay. And I'll talk to you in email mastery. Thanks.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And there we have it. Another great episode. Thanks for listening in. If you want to continue the conversation, we'll go deeper in how the 8 profit activators can apply to your business. 2 things you can do. Right now, you can go to morecheeselesswhiskers.com and you can download a copy of the More Cheese Less Whiskers book. And you can listen to the back episodes, of course, if you're just listening here on iTunes. Secondly, the thing that we talk about in applying all of the 8 profit activators are part of the breakthrough DNA process. And you can download a book and a scorecard and watch a video all about the 8 profit activators at breakthroughdna.com. And that's a great place to start the journey in applying this scientific approach to growing your business. That's really the way we think about Breakthrough DNA as an operating system that you can overlay on your existing business and immediately look for insights there. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, and we will be back next time with another episode of More Cheese, Less Whiskers.